There's a lot more interesting stuff going on just in the synergy. Okay, now as long as you make testing 1, 2. Testing. We are living in the age of awakening. This means that this time period, toward the end of 2012, as we've heard so much about this date, there's so much consciousness focused on the transition of humanity. We are going to enter a period where it's the end of so many cycles, science can no longer measure them. The precession of the equinox, one revolution of our galactic mother, the Milky Way, which is 200, I don't know the exact number, 210, 20 million years. All of these things are happening at a universal, cosmic, and personal, cellular, DNA consciousness level. And then we are here in Africa, addressing the problems of the entire planet. I am an eternal being made out of love and light and consciousness. I will be here long after there is an Africa. And the I is was here when this planet was built. From that perspective, I am aware that the planet is dancing to a whole new frequency. That is why a lot of us here are feeling that energy of change, of possibility at all levels. So you can consider that I am a consciousness pioneer who jumps out of airplanes to the edge of reality so I can explore how much could fit in one perception of reality. That means that any idea that I encounter, extraterrestrials, free energy, the possibility of a planet in peace, in one frequency, is real for me. I don't need to prove it. I don't need a science, statistics. There's no marketing. There are no illustrations that could convey the viewpoint that I've been afforded. I live a life of privilege of consciousness. There's a level of understanding that I've had that now I have to come back to, and it's just not me. It's an entire community of thinkers, you here, who have to come back and translate this vision. So how do we ground this? I'm going to be speaking at a conference in November in Holland, November 9th to 11th, called the Breakthrough Energy Movement, Global BEM, globalbem.com. And there's cards, and you'll see the Flower of Life frequency signature there, and I encourage you to look at that. What would it be like to visit laboratories where we're working on inverse gravity vehicles, teleportation portals, time travel technology, and the more basic one is free energy, where we can tap into the abundant, benevolent mercy of the universe that gives us every single aspect of creation in every other piece of creation. That means we live in a holographic fractal reality. There are other words, I was almost combining them, that we can tap into. And every square centimeter of space has enough energy to produce an entire universe. I've seen this technology by first person. The magnetic fields that are being generated by these devices are conscious. You step next to one of these machines that we're building in free energy, and it reacts to you. So if you are not in harmony with who you are, you're not connected to what you are, the machines, the technology will reflect it. They are perfect mirrors to us. So when you hear about zero-point energy, over unity energy, that programming that's in our head of, oh, that's perpetual motion, that's impossible. That's bad programming already running around in our coconut. These crazy scientists like Nikola Tesla, who were shut down, and there are thousands of other ones at the genius level of Tesla. in our townships right now. That's where the next miracle is coming. The cure for cancer is not even the basic understanding. There are children right now around the world that have this knowledge and they're living it, they're expressing it. There's a condition that I've labeled the burden of disbelief. It's a disease like a cancer. When you see someone and share an idea such as teleportation, their burden of disbelief takes over. And they'll tell you all the 20 million reasons why that's impossible. There's a paradox issue, Let's talk to the time travelers of this world, which there are many. And they travel with all kinds of technology that the governments have had. My proof shows me that it's been around since the 70s. Teleportation, where we have a portal like at an airport and you walk through it and in a minute later you are on another side of the world or another planet or in another dimension, has been available to us since the beginning of humanity. The Egyptians had it, the Sumerians had it, the Incas had it, and to them it was just as normal as walking in the forest because they were tied into the frequency of belief. They already accepted that this was available to us. So I'm not interested in the conspiracy side of what I'm talking about because it is now in my consciousness healed. I used to be one of those angry researchers who was upset. I was part of the B-2 research program, B-2 bomber stealth technology. I know what's available to us on that dark side. But now I say, okay, it had its purpose, it's had its run. Corporations have had their run. They've made their quadrillions of rand. There are people who live on this planet that can live thousands of years. They're among us. There are individuals who are expressions of interdimensional beingness. That means that there are Pleiadians, Arcturians, Sirians, beings from thousands of star systems are here. I've interacted with them. I am one of them. And I was sent here on a mission to help this shift, like many of you. So when we're talking about cleaning up the planet, bringing in the new humanity, what kind of things could we do in our everyday life? I have an antenna back there. It's that column of water. It's recording everything that we're saying. That's my computational device. It's recording everything that we're feeling. And it's fractal and holographic. That means that every piece of your reality is imprinted in that water, and vice versa. We are expressions of our ancestors. I have the blood of my recent ancestors, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, and the French. The cellular memory of that anger and control and destruction that they caused is inside of me. But also the mercy and benevolence. I was given a language to heal that. I've connected with the parallel realities that my soul has experienced. I know how many times I've died. I know how I've been killed. But it wasn't a past life or a future life. There really is nothing like that in consciousness. So there are change agents who are working on technology right now to reshape. The very form and essence of our soul is also going through that change. Free energy thinking is the breakthrough of this entire universe. So there are scientists who are working on technology, for example, magnetic fields. Are we aware that magnetic fields are a form of light that have a spectrum of color? So you can tune a magnet and shape the geometries of the field so it affects time and space and matter and thought and emotion, and it can sprout other forms of matter. Matter replication is another technology that I've looked at, like the Star Trek, when you got yourself something and you're holding it in your hand. That's available to us right now, and it's real. I want to do it here in Africa. I want to do that in South America and other parts of the world. Because whatever system that's going to evolve the existing paradigms has to be several orders of magnitude more advanced. It can't be, in my opinion, just one little tiny leap. So while we're considering the disruption of our financial system, our military, our governments. There is an entire envelope around that that contains the new reality, and we're already in it. We passed that only recently. Only in the last decade did we do an entire shift from third dimension into what would be considered fourth and fifth dimension reality. What's available to us now in this new vibration is the ability to manifest matter from our thoughts in an accelerated form. What used to take us 1 year to accomplish, roughly, it's not a linear calculation, could be done in days now. To plan a business, to design a new city, to create a new educational system, can be done in days now. It is my belief that I don't have to prove it. You don't have to show me the science. I don't need to know the background behind it. I step into my day every day knowing that all these things are real and true. I have learned to heal bodies with my hand. I have learned to read the energy levels of individuals and runes. I've also interacted with different forms of consciousness that is teaching us all the time, through animals, through nature, through water, through crystals. So whatever you heard about metaphysics, occult sciences, ancient technologies, there's a resurgence of it. But it has a new face. And it's in each one of us. So what we think of as the most advanced civilization that ever lived is not even close to what's happened in 5 generations of humanity that we've had over, 20 billion years or so. We really don't have access to know how old the universe really is. So when I go to a township and I see the water and I see the land, I see magic and possibilities. In my worldview, we are living on a planet that can be in peace everywhere. No war anywhere. That frequency I can hold comfortably in my head without a worry. To me, it's not real that humanity is basically violent. It's part of our human nature. I don't have that software running in me anymore. When I see children, and we have some beautiful examples today with Noma. She taught me a lot of lessons today. I cried when I saw her talk about what's available to us. I am walking, living proof that whatever you dreamt was possible of heaven on earth is possible. So I encourage you, as a subset, pick something like this up. Share it with your friends and say, this is real. Breakthrough energy is real. We're forming the entire infrastructure to release and deploy this technology worldwide, not just electricity. We don't need a box to power our toasters. We definitely need something that will evolve our belief system, that we feel this is real. So thank you for allowing me to share this little piece of light. Namaste.
Fernando Vossa. Thank you. David?